Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm not just trying everything.
Okay. Okay, so thank you for coming to my class. And I already met all of you, right? I'm Karina. So we're working with making magical oils. And I know you three have never been to one of my classes before, but last time we did hoodoo powders and traditional incense making class. So I'm going to go over some of the same stuff I went last time. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I'm not going to go too in depth really, so it should be okay. So I'm really into hoodoo. Do any of you know what that is? You do know?
Mm.
Okay. Do you know? So I don't have to. Do you want me to describe what it is real quick before? Okay. So basically, it's African American folk magic. It has European and Native American influences. So I'm a folk magic practitioner. I don't follow any religious path. I'm an animist, and I just do folk magic. But a lot of what I teach and a lot of what I work with and make is connected to different hoodoo formulas and everything. So when I'm talking about the oils that we're going to be making and what type of oils they are, it's all related to hoodoo and other folk magic practices. Okay. So a little history about oils. Oils have always, as far as we know, have always been used for medicinal, healing purposes, and also in cosmetics. We have written documents or written proof, or not written, but like we have proof of its use in ancient Egypt and in China during its when its first civilization started to blossoming, whatever. Okay, see, this is why I need to take homeopathic anxiety stuff. Okay. And so what they used oils medicinally was always essential oils. And essential oils, you get them from any part of the plant. You can get them from the stems, from the branches, from the leaves, the roots. It depends on what the plant is and what kind of things properties you're trying to draw from it. And it's through a distill process. And a lot of people, not a lot of people, but like alchemy, they'll say that the soul of a plant is the essential oil that you bring out from it, and that the spirit of a plant is what you get from a plant when you use it in like a tincture, where you make a tincture from it. And
what's a tincture?
You can, so like with the essential oil, it's distilled. You know, distill, like the distill process. Okay, well, it's gonna take me forever if I try to describe that because it's really hard for me to describe distill. But okay, so I'll just tell you what tincture is. If a tincture, there's different parts of a plant that have different medicinal properties, and you can put them in. There's different bases. You can use like an alcohol base. A lot of people use vodka, or like I've seen people use it with vinegar and stuff. And you use it to draw out those properties, so you can take them internally as medicine. So like you can find them at like Henry's and different like natural stores, and you'll just like sometimes you'll put it in a drink, or you can take it.
So tincture's like a medicine. Yeah,
it's medicine.
Gotcha.
But it has alcohol base usually. Whereas the oil is what you're drawing out of the plant. So that's why it's so expensive for tinctures compared to oils. Because the tinctures have a base of something else, and the oils are just drawn out from the plant. That works. If you have questions, sorry if I answer them weird. Just make sure you tell me if I'm saying it right. Like if you get it, and don't just like nod or something. So I do that with my teachers. I'm like, yes, I totally understand. I need to go home and Google this. So I don't want to be that kind of person teaching. If my answers don't make sense, keep asking, and I'll eventually get to it.
Tincture you swallow, and what was the other one?
Oils. Essential oils.
You don't.
Yeah. You can still use them medicinally. That's what they used them originally for. But it was like aromatherapy was a huge thing in Egypt. So the scent is what it's affected you. So in ancient Egypt, they actually believed that your sense of smell was your most important sense. And that, like, even like your ability to think and your ability to see and taste everything comes second to your ability to smell things, because they felt that if the smelling things can affect your energy, because it can trigger different memories, it can trigger different emotions, it can trigger different whatevers. So aromatherapy, like healing through like changing your energy through your sense of smell, was how they healed people. Huh? Yeah, because like if you smell, like I know if I smell fresh baked bread, I'll think of when we went to go visit my family in Germany and the bakery's on the corner, and I'm like, oh my god, I love that time of my life. That was such a great trip. Blah 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 blah. So, and then makes me happy. Whereas like some things you'll smell and it'll like instantly put you in a bad mood because of like some weird memory you had when you were like 2 or something that you kind of repressed or. Well, so that's just an example.
Yeah. Someone you slept with who smelled that way.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Big mistake.
So I don't know how they're used in cosmetics though, so I'm not going to get into that. But they were used in Egypt and whatnot as cosmetics. In hoodoo, that's what we're going to mainly be talking about. is there's different types of oils that you can use in magic. Like, in most people I know don't use essential oils for healing. I mean, I know some pagans, like, because I usually work with only pagans or people who are using essential oils. So you can use them to heal, or you can use them magically for their energies, because I was saying earlier it was like the soul of the plant that you're using. Or you can use it together for magical healing or whatever your sort of blend is. But in hoodoo, there's two different types of oils, really. There's anointing oils and dressing oils. And a dressing oil is something that you'd use to put on like an inanimate object, like a candle or something. It's something that you would put on something to either bless it or give it that energy. Like a candle, you're going to put it on there and then you're going to burn it. A mojo bag you're going to carry with you so you have the energy with it. An anointing oil is something that you dab and you put it on yourself. And the difference I see with those two is, like, when I'm making oils, if I consider something an anointing oil, it's because I've made it entirely of, like, skin-safe things, that if I can rub it into my skin daily, if I want to use it as a perfume sort of thing, if I put enough essential oils in it. Or if it's not, it's going to get into my skin, if it's going to go into my body, it's going to be okay. And a dressing oil is something I can dab myself with, maybe once for a ritual or something, but it's not something I'm consistently put on myself or put a lot on myself, because I might have it might have something that can burn my skin, like if I put cinnamon, essential oil in there, or cinnamon, or something weird, or clove, something's going to burn me, or an herb that's not really good, or especially if you know the herbs that affect you strangely. Like, I know I'm allergic to mullein, like really bad, so if I had that in an oil, I'd like instantly get a rash and then it starts spreading. So I'm like, never, I'm like, if I had to use mullein for something, like if it was an ingredient that I had to use whenever, that'd definitely be a dressing oil. It'd only be like putting it on a plant, or not a plant, a candle or something, and then like washing my hands immediately. So that's the difference I see between the two. And there's the conditioned oils, which are, I guess there could be dressing and anointing oils, but a lot of times I just see them as anointing oils because usually most of the stuff I see in them is skin safe. And conditioned oils and formula oils are the same thing, so have you ever heard those terms when they're describing oils? They're the same. Because I know I see when I read about oils, they'll talk about, they're interchangeably used different words, but like the words don't really, they're not the same thing. So I'm like, why are you intermixing it? Just so you don't say anointing like 20 times over, when it is anointing is the word you should be using. It doesn't matter if you keep repeating yourself. But conditioned oils, I love hoodoo because it's really straightforward with concerning oils and powders. Like I talked last time in our class about some of the powders you could use, or something like, you want a lever, you're going to use Come to Me Lever Oil or Come to Me Lever Powder. If you want, let's see, like you want somebody to follow, like you like somebody Follow Me Boy Oil, or there's some of them aren't really like sick of it, like Van oil is something that's a huge popular oil, and it's usually used, a lot of people get their formulas from like the New Orleans style, or there's another place in New Orleans too, I think it starts with a V. But they're usually, it's generally like 5 different Asian grasses, but sometimes like you'll go to a different family sort of thing path. Okay, I need to stop and like, I'm going on a rambling stint. Okay. With oils and hoodoo, like, you know, have you heard, like, somebody will say you must use this plant for this, and this is the only plant you can use for this, or this is the only formula, or even when you're cooking, this is the recipe you have to use, you can't change it. So they do the same thing in hoodoo, where they say, like, this is the formula for something. This is why a lot of people end up, like in the pagan community, end up just making their own stuff because they don't like to follow what somebody's telling them. But then that's how the little traditions and little things start, because when it changes from region to region, like if you're in Georgia, the hoodoo practitioners there are more influenced by Native American practices than anything else. Louisiana has its own blend of hoodoo, not completely, but they have a lot of what people, when they learn online or something about hoodoo, this is where most of their stuff's coming from. Because it's not like stay within the family, stay within the community. It's like, we've been selling these things and like shipping them out to everybody, so it's something that's more that like known better. And then with my oils, so in hoodoo, okay, it's like the worst class I've taught because I keep not taking my things. Okay, so in hoodoo also they'll say that some of practitioners believe that it's all about the energy that you use in your oil. So whatever oils, whatever herbs and stuff that you're using in here, that's where the energy is coming from. Others believe it's all about the sense of smell that you're getting, or the scent that you're getting from it. I believe like there's like this middle ground because I'm really sensitive to everything, so I usually just go for the energy of the plants that I'm putting in here compared to the smell, because the smell can affect you differently too. Like even if you say like using for, like we talked about earlier, gardenia, but what if you have a like bad memory with gardenia, so you're using it for like to bring you love, but you had like a really bad instance with a past boyfriend or girlfriend with, and the gardenia, that scent is like connected to it somehow. So if you're going to use this new oil to bring you love, and that scent is negatively affecting you, they're going to be thinking about that the entire time using it. So in my personal use, I don't usually use that many, like, I don't really like, I dilute the essential oils really heavily so you can barely smell it. Except for the ones I sell, because I know people are really attracted to scents of things, and they'll go for it because of what the scent brings them. But you can't know people and what they're affected by, so that's why everything that I make is really diluted. And some people will even say that I use essential oils because of the energy, but some people will use fragrance oils because they feel that it's going to bring you the same sort of energy because it's connected to smell, but then they don't realize that it's made of chemical base and there's no real energy for it. Other than the sense of smell, there are a lot of people who are extremely, like, highly allergic to things, or like super sensitive like I am, and if I use a fragrance oil, my skin's going to feel like it's burning.
Right.
So the things I brought today, I brought all organic herbs, and then the essential oils. I'm pretty sure all the ones I brought are organic. Yeah, now and Orcas here. Good. Okay, I need to make sure I didn't forget anything. Yeah. So the last thing before we start is the last type of oil is a perfume oil. So so we have anointing oils and dressing oils. Perfume oils are totally connected to your sense of smell. You can use them magically, but they're not anything herb-based. So if you buy a perfume oil online or something, it's either going to have, even if it's called a perfume oil, a lot of times it's like alcohol-based still. It'll have like essential oils or fragrance oils to scent it, but it's still alcohol-based, so that when you put it on your skin, you're not going to have like this, it's going to not evaporate, but kind of dry up and still leave a residue of sorts, but not have that, like, you're not going to have a patch of oily skin or whatever, or moisturized skin. I don't like using perfume oils because it's just purely scent, and if it wears off, and you're only using it for the scent, even if it's a fragrance oil, it's not leaving anything behind for you to work with, or for it to keep connected to you. So that's why we're going to make herb and scent oils. So you'll have these, because sometimes herbs are good for a year when you keep them in your, and then I feel it's the same way with oils too. Like it'll draw a lot of properties out when you're using oils, but if you use it quickly enough and don't let it sit there for a year, I feel that you can put more oils in it and fill it up again and still have some of that residue in it that's still left in the plant, so you can maybe add a couple of fresh herbs or a little bit of essential oils, and it's still like an ongoing thing. So that's why I like using that, because then it's not something you're going to use right away.
It's less scent, but it's more of a spirit.
Yeah, there's still some of this working for you. You can put your own essential oils in it later,
Right.
but it's still going to have enough energy in there. Because I know a lot of times you'll buy something that's gone really quickly, and you're like, hey, I got to buy a whole new one. But when I sell my oils, a lot of people will tell me, even because I tell them to, they'll have the herbs still left in there, and they're like, oh, I just refilled it, and it still works just as fine. I'm like, so you're getting more for your money, I guess, and it's more...
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I get distracted by the cuteness.
Okay.
Okay. So, this class, because I have too many herbs, and I'd cover this whole table in little baggies if we did, we're going to do protection oils, because last time we worked on wealth and prosperity, and the time before that we did love or self-love. So I'm kind of trying, I know a lot of you guys, some of you didn't go to the last classes, but we're moving, I'm doing different things themes each time. So this one's protection.